Good morning. You guys ready to sing a little? Just a little. With your masks on. There's no space that His love can reach. There's no place where we can't find peace. There's no end to amazing grace. Take me in with your arms spread wide. Take me in like an orphan child. Never let go, never leave my side. 'Cause I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am. All right, sing on with me. There's no space that His love can't reach. And there's no place where we can't find peace. There's no end to amazing grace. Take me in with your arms spread wide. Take me in like an orphan child. Never let go, never leave my side. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am. I am. I am. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am. In the middle of the storm, in the middle of the storm, holding on. In the middle of this storm, I'm holding on. In the middle of the storm, I'm holding on. I'm holding on, let me tell you. It's all right. Adios, dear Lord, Satanás. Holy name, when I call on the Lord within, I go home. Adios, dear Lord, Satanás. Holy name, when I call on the Lord within, I go home. Call Darling, calling, calling, calling.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Reverend John Riley. I have the joy of serving as your senior minister here at Unity Palo Alto, and I'd like to welcome you to our celebration service. It's so nice to have you here today. Thank you for being online with us today, and thank you for watching us if you're watching us during the week. We're so glad that you're here. Unity, for those of you who are new to Unity, what we want you to know is that Unity is a worldwide, inclusive spiritual movement, welcoming people from all walks of life, who want to have a deeper experience of spirit, a greater expression of health, wholeness, and abundance, people who are looking for spiritual growth, transformation, or to simply do life better. We teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed this morning to have with us Rusty Gaylord as our platform leader, Margot LeDuc as our soloist, Russell Norman on piano with Ronnie Beck on drums. And so we begin our service with our opening song. I invite you all to stand as Margot leads us in song.
I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is a welcome here. Oh, my soul is a welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is a welcome here. Oh, my soul is a welcome here. Oh, my soul is a welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is a welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is a welcome right here.
Thank you, Margot. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rusty Gaylord. Welcome to Unity Palo Alto, both in person and for those of you online. We're so happy to see you here, and welcome to our service. As John mentioned a few moments ago, Unity is part of a worldwide movement of prayer, publishing, and education, teaching positive, practical, spiritual principles to help you live life better. I'm always a big fan of that. Who doesn't want to live life better? Unity is a spiritual movement. We are welcoming and inclusive, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. We have 5 core principles that help to guide us in our spiritual path. The first principle is God is. There's one power present and active in the universe, whether you call that universal intelligence or love or abundance or God. It is one power that is here and permeates everything all around us. Our second principle is I am. Not only does that power permeate everything around us, it is in us as well. It is not some power out there. It is something that is in us and through us. And you are a part of that spiritual power. Our third principle, thoughts in mind produce after their kind. We have the ability to affect our world through our thinking. Our fourth principle is the practice of prayer and meditation. Because most of us get absorbed in what is going on around us day to day, it is helpful to have a practice of prayer and meditation to stay connected with that one power and presence that is everywhere around us and in us. And that is connected to our fifth principle, which is the practical application. It is through the practical application of these tools and principles that we come to stay connected with this power and presence and become what we were created to be, which living expressions of the image of God, which Unity calls the Christ. These 5 core principles guide us in living our mission statement, which I invite you to say with me. It is on the screen here and hopefully on the screen there for you live. Let's say it all together. Centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all. And so it is. And now we continue the service with the call to worship.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. High and lifted up, shining in your light of glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
And now a reading from the Daily Word. Today's daily word is divine order. I will read the affirmation and then invite you to read it with me. I live in harmony with divine order. Join me in reading it together. I live in harmony with divine order. Life is in constant motion, even if that motion is imperceptible to me. When I feel stuck in place or impatient with my progress, I consider the gradual yet orderly pattern of the seasons as they change. The single golden leaf I notice one day will become a part of a blaze of color just a few weeks later. The brisk chill in the morning air soon will lead to biting cold and snow. The first tender seedlings of spring will bring bright blooms and a verdant canopy, followed by the long, sultry days of summer. Little by little, one season turns into the next. My growth and understanding may happen in much the same way. Even if I don't notice changes day to day, my life is always in motion and in order. The reading is from the book of James. You see that faith was active along with his works, and faith was brought to completion by the works.
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright
feel that energy within you, feel that love within you, feel that movement within you. Can you feel it? Yes. Does it feel good? Yes. All right, we're done. Oh, no, sorry. We're not quite done. Welcome. Well, this week on Thursday is Veterans Day. And what I'd like to do today is honor all of those women and men who served our armed forces, who served our country, who served us. So if you are online and you're a veteran, we invite you to say something in the chat so we can honor you. And if you're here in the service and you're a veteran, I invite you now to stand because we would like to bless you. And so, veterans, the blessings on the screen, you can join me in saying this. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ consciousness expressing as you. Thank you so much for your service. Well, we've begun a journey of expressing our most prosperous life, of really tapping into that law, that principle of abundance, and allowing that to come through us. How's it going so far? Great, yeah. So this last week, our task was easy. It was just look at all of the abundance around us. The rule number 1 was be one with life. So look at how that abundance gets expressed in the world without any trying. And see that abundance in the world and really identify with it. Really understand that it's there, that that principle is always moving, and you are a part of that. You are a part of that because of what Rusty said this morning, right? That idea, that spark of divinity that's within you. Whether you call it the Christ consciousness or your higher self or simply a spark, it's that's within you that is waiting to come out. And that's who you are. That's just it. That's who you are. And so the principle number 2, the rule number 2, is awareness, is being aware. Being aware that we live in an expanding universe. Now, in his book, oh, that's not it. Okay, there it is. In his book, The Art of Abundance, the author, Dennis Jones, talks about this idea of the expanding universe, where it's always expanding, it's always growing, and so there's always new things coming into manifestation, into creation. And that includes us. And so that impersonal law that we were looking at last week, that just happens, the goal to this week is to make it personal for ourselves, is to step into knowing that energy flows through us as well. That's who we are. And so we become aware of that idea that we have the ability to create, to bring forth that principle of abundance, and we call it prosperity. And the law is absolute. It's perfect. It just works. It just works. And so whatever you're focused on is what you will create. Whatever you're giving your great attention to is what you will bring forth. It's the lens through which we see in the world. That's the lens through which we're acting in the world. And so awareness that we live in an expanding universe is really self-awareness. It's really taking a look to see, well, what am I thinking? What am I saying? What am I doing? That self-awareness of how am I living into that principle? How am I living in and drawing forth from that idea and living that in my life? That's self-awareness. And to practice self-awareness when the other shows up, the opposite shows up. Because there will be times in our life, there will be a little bit of struggle. There will be times in our life when things don't go exactly how we had planned. But where are we putting our focus on it? See, the challenge that we have is so often we're waking up in automatic mode, right? We're waking up and we're just on autopilot. You know, we do what we do every morning. We go, our thoughts are just on autopilot. We're not really focusing on what we're thinking about. And so whatever belief system, right, that we have on, that's what's leading us. Awareness says, well, take a step back, take a pause, and just look at that. Look at what you're thinking when you're waking up in the morning and you're going about your day. You know, the challenge is sometimes we get caught in our belief system. That BS that holds us back. That belief system that comes from that idea of not-enough-ness. A belief of not-enough-ness. I'm not enough. You're not enough. There's not enough in the world. That not-enough-ness becomes our lens. And so that's what we create. Not enough. So we have to be aware of where are our not-enough-ness. Instead of focusing on the prosperity that we're generating in our life, we're looking at the cracks in between. We're looking at the spaces in between where there's nothing. And we're saying there's not enough. Instead of looking at the good that's happening in our lives, we're looking at all of the challenges in our lives. And that becomes our focus. So when we're self-aware, we're beginning to notice when we are putting our attention in our not-enough-ness. There's also the challenge of living in this collective not-enough-ness, that collective consciousness. That idea that the whole planet, all of us conscious beings are thinking this idea that there's just not enough to go around. And so that has an impact on us because we're separating ourselves from our oneness. We're living in the duality consciousness of victim and victor. It's one or the other. I'm either winning or I'm losing. I'm either beating you or you're beating me. And when we come from that perspective, from that consciousness, we can never know our oneness. We can never truly understand that principle that's active within us. You know, we're not in that energy. Now, that energy is propelling us forwards, and sometimes we just kind of trip into our good. Anybody ever happen to that? Oh, look, there's some good in my life. Hey, look at that. I got a new job. I like it. What do you know? Give me a year, and then come ask me whether I like it or not. We trip into our good because the universe is always moving us in that direction. That divine impulse is always bringing us up. And if you want to really enjoy it, be grateful for it in the moment. If you want to really enjoy it and be more thoughtful about it, then be aware of your thoughts. Be aware, self-aware. And self-awareness includes mind, body, and spirit, right? It's the allness of you. It's the whole of you. Be aware of how that shows up and how that expresses in the world. The premise here that Jones talks about, the universe is eternally expanding at the speed of light. It's perpetually pushing out, creating more of itself from within itself. The principle of abundance is the dynamic of this expression in action. Its mandate is to create impersonally through you at the level that you are able to personalize this principle. At the level in which you are able to personalize this principle. Your conscious awareness of that is your point of access. That's your point of power. With awareness, we can become curious, conscious creators within the unlimited potential of the infinite universe. So it's bringing ourselves back to that idea of discovering the kingdom within. Bringing ourselves back to that idea of knowing our oneness with spirit, of knowing how that flows through us. Bringing ourselves back to understanding that principle within us. And that brings us to our third rule. Everyone take a nice, deep, cleansing breath, because this is a hard one. Are you ready? Be accountable for your consciousness. Now that you have the answer, now that you know that it's a matter of awareness, now become accountable for it. Eric Butterworth once said, a Unity minister and author, once said, prosperity is consciousness. Prosperity is consciousness. Prosperity is a way of living and thinking and not just having money or things. Poverty is a way of living and thinking and not just a lack of things. And so you are responsible for your consciousness. Be accountable for your consciousness. So often in life we go around saying, well, life would be great if all of those other knuckleheads would just get in line. Don't we? Anybody ever think that? Or is it just me? Okay, there's a few hands. There's a few honest people out there. Sometimes we look at the world and say, gosh, if they only knew about unity. Gosh, if they only knew about these principles, if they only thought the way I thought, everything would be great. Except I don't like what I think sometimes, and so then that gets a little dicey. A bunch of me's running around? Ugh. You're only responsible for your consciousness. But you are responsible for your consciousness. You're responsible to show up. You're responsible to take a pause, take a breath, take a beat, and become aware of where you're at. I've been practicing this week. Whenever I got a little frustrated, whenever I got a little angry, whenever something was bubbling up within me, I take a pause. And I look at that and say, oh, that's bubbling up. And then what helped me was just say, you know what? I don't need to be angry. I don't need to be angry right now. I don't need to be frustrated right now. And that was enough to shift that consciousness out of being angry. I didn't suppress it. I didn't say, no, John, you can't be angry. You have to be pious. You're the minister. I just said, oh, there it is. Hello, dear friend. Every once in a while, our shadow comes out, right? Every once in a while, that my shadow twin Skippy, as I like to call him, comes out. Every once in a while, your shadow will come out, or your anger, or your frustration, in our relationships, in our experience of life, in our experience of looking at not the good, but at the cracks in between. And in that moment, when we look at the cracks in between, we can say, you know, I don't have to look at the cracks in between anymore. I can be here, present. I can look at my good, and I can be grateful for my good. Jones talks about the idea of ABC. Awareness builds consciousness. Awareness builds consciousness, because consciousness is everything. Having that conscious awareness that we're one with that indwelling spirit, that divine presence that guides us and moves us and has its way, has its being in us, that breathes us every moment. Consciousness. Being aware of the good in our life and how we are showing up in life, how we are expressing this good in our world. Consciousness. Awareness builds consciousness. So our practice of awareness can come from mindfulness and mindfulness practice. Just taking a step back, taking a beat, and noticing, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I saying? What am I doing? And is it in alignment with my highest good? Sometimes when we start to move through this practice and we begin to gain a little awareness, right? We start to look out at the world, at our friends, at our family, and because we had been there and we now have a little bit of perspective on it, we can easily see, oh, you know what your problem is? Because we can see ourselves in the other person because we have that awareness. So the risk here is, it's great to offer support when support is asked for, but sometimes what happens is, you know what, I can fix you. I know exactly where you're at. I can. All you have to do is this. Breathe like this 10 times, do this affirmation and you'll be fine. But it doesn't always work. You know why? Because they're an individual person who's in charge of their own consciousness. You can give them suggestions and they might find their own way through it. You can live according to your truth and you can shine your light. You can be that buoyant personality. You can be that conscious compassion. You can be that ear. and be coming from that higher consciousness, and that will show them that there is a path. But you are responsible for you. And when it comes to that collective consciousness, we'd all love the collective consciousness in the world to rise above where it's at. And our focus has to be here, to express that energy out more into the world so that others can see it. That's what was meant by "you are the light of the world," and a city set on a hill, so that others can see your light and allow it to shine so bright. There's a practice that I would like us to work on this week. It is this one right here. The practice of saying thank you. Gratitude is one of the keys to an abundant life. Gratitude is one of the keys to unlocking that energy and allowing that energy to flow. There are many gratitude practices that you have, but the one that I found to be very powerful is when you actually tell someone, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being a part of my life. And so we've practiced with thankyou.io. Of course, it's been created by a couple of people in our congregation, and you can learn all about that on our website at unitypaloalto.org/thankyou. You can go to their website, thankyou.io, and there's a little form that you fill out. You put someone's email address if you want them to receive an email. If you don't know their email address, you don't need it. You put your email address so you can get notified, but what you do is you put a little 200-word thank you. And if you include #UnityPaloAlto in it, it'll come to our website. And you can see all of the thank yous. What a wonderful way to support each other as a spiritual community, don't you think? And you know what else it does? It gets you really looking for reasons to say thank you. If you have a goal to say, I'm going to say thank you to one person every day, one person. That's not your normal, every day, thanks for being there. Someone outside of that inner circle. One person. All of a sudden, you become really creative. You really start looking for ways in which you can say thank you to somebody. And when you start looking for ways that you can say thank you, you're inviting that good to come to you. You're creating that flow within you. That abundance, that energy of abundance is now moving. Simply by saying thank you to somebody. And so I invite you to go to the website every day and say thank you to someone. And if you include the #UnityPaloAlto in it, it'll come to our website, and then I'll share a few as we go forward. What a wonderful way to support each other in this experience of abundance. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu said, knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. The idea of owning that gratitude, gratefully being aware, gratefully, being accountable. And when things go wrong, when you're not there, don't blame and shame yourself. Just come back with gratitude. I woke up. I just woke up. How grateful am I for that? Our affirmation is on the screen. I'm going to read it once and then invite you to affirm it with me. With conscious awareness, I shift from not-enough-ness to unlimited possibilities. With conscious awareness, I shift from that not-enough-ness belief to the consciously to the abilities, to the unlimited possibilities that are within me. I am a clear channel for the energy of abundance to flow. Would you affirm that with me together? With conscious awareness, I shift from not-enough-ness to unlimited possibility. I am a clear channel for the energy of abundance to flow. Yes. With a nice, deep, cleansing breath, let us take that into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. I invite you to breathe into this present moment And close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or simply soften your gaze. With each breath, we let go of all of the concerns. We become aware of the thoughts and the feelings. And in that awareness, we empty our cup. We allow them to drain from us gently and effortlessly. And with our focus on our breath, we turn our attention to that indwelling spirit, the indwelling energy of love, harmonizing us mind, body, and spirit, the indwelling energy of faith, shaping substance and bringing forth our good. The indwelling flow of life, love, and wisdom. And in that breath, we recognize our oneness with Spirit. We feel that energy lift us up, flowing through us until we recognize that it is flowing as us. With each breath, we allow that energy to flow with ease and grace, lifting us higher. Lifting us to the presence within. From this higher state of awareness, from this energy, that spiritual energy that is within, we affirm, I am one with the infinite flow of life, love, and wisdom. We affirm that I am here to express this higher consciousness. Here to express it in the form of compassion, understanding, generosity, kindness, gratitude. With a feeling of gratitude within us, we say thank you. We allow this energy of gratitude, of connection, of harmony to expand to every person in this room, to every person watching online. We allow this energy to expand to encompass our entire planet. And with that energy, we raise the collective consciousness. With that energy, we bring forth our good. If there's anybody who you hold in prayer, and for all of the prayers that have been submitted online and in our prayer chest, we surround each person in each situation with this energy of love. We know that each situation is guided by divine love and divine wisdom. And we see each person discovering that spiritual magnificence within them and expressing that in their lives in this very moment. We hold the same prayer for our world, national, state, and local leaders, seeing them making wise and loving decisions for peace on earth, goodwill, and equality for all people. And for this time together, for this sacred space that we are creating, let us give thanks by singing the Alleluia.
Hallelujah.
And with a nice, deep, cleansing breath, let us return our attention to this time and this space. Open your eyes if you haven't already done so, and just allow that energy to continue to flow as you. Unity Palo Alto is here to help you discover your spiritual magnificence and help you live from that magnificence every day. If you feel uplifted and inspired by our message today, I invite you to make a donation to support our spiritual community. For our spiritual community is supported by your generous love offerings, by your donation. That's why we're here. That's how we're here. There are many ways in which you can give to our community. Whatever's right for you and however you give with love. Give with gratitude. Allow that energy to flow through you with ease and grace. The affirmation that we say is on the screen, and I invite you to affirm it with me. Together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
Before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around. I'm so grateful. 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 Let's sing it one more time. I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, below me, gratitude in me, gratitude all around. I'm so grateful, yeah. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
It is hard not to be grateful after that. Thank you, Margot and Russell and Ronnie. We here at Unity are a welcoming and vibrant community, and there are many opportunities to participate and get to know the people here and deepen your spiritual practice. A couple of things just to share with you. Coming up a month from now is the first Sunday in the month of December is our Spiritual Center update. We normally do that the first Sunday of every month. is normally when that happens. So next month in December, we invite you to join for that. It will be, if you're here in person, it will be live, and you can also, of course, join by Zoom. We are not having the normal spiritual center update this Sunday, because immediately following the service at 11:30, there is a celebration of life service for Mary Engstrom. So for those of you who are here, you are welcome to join us here in person for that. If you are on Zoom, you are welcome to tune in. It will be live streamed, so we invite you to join us here to celebrate Mary's life. You can check out more information about everything going on at Unity at the Unity Palo Alto website, which is unitypaloalto.org. You can also check out our social media channels and connect with us. There is a lot of good things going on here at Unity, and we invite you to join in the community. For all of you who are online today, we invite you at this point, if you are so inclined, to jump over to the chat section and just say a greeting. Say welcome, happy Sunday, good morning, just as a way of putting your energy out there in the world. For those of you who are here in person, we invite you to save your greetings until after the service. We will have the opportunity to say hello and greet one another in the courtyard, so we invite you for that. If there's anyone who is here for their first time or coming back after a long absence, we invite you to stand so we can welcome you and greet you. Any newcomers or first-timers? Wonderful, thank you. We're so happy that you're here, welcome. And if there's anyone online, you may have stood in your own very own living room. We send a hearty welcome out to you as well. We invite you to fill out a welcome card. For you in person, they're in the pew, behind the back of the pew, and online you can find that at unitypaloalto.org/live. Happy Sunday, everyone. Being that it is the first Sunday of the month, we will take this opportunity to
Hold it, hang on a second, hold it. Wait a minute, wait a minute.
What's going on here,
it's
John?
November 2021. Do you know what that means, Marty? Rusty.
Tell me, John, what is it?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that. November 2021. 100 years ago, November 1921, we were blessed by this wonderful individual named John Cole. I would like John to say a few words of wisdom if you're willing. I don't care if you're willing. So, John, 100 years. What do you think?
Oh, bless you, and bless all of you, that's for sure. Well, believe it or not, my wife Olive and I were married in the church that's underneath this church. Dr. Lilly is the one that performed the ceremony, and that was in 1973. I've been with this church for a long time, and I love it. I love it, believe me. I do have a few cliches, and one is, don't let age be a cage. And don't retire, refire. And of course, a little joke. Don't take life too seriously. You'll never get out of it alive. But you know, I used to say the only place that we live 24/7 is right between our two ears. And that may be true. But for me, 24/7, it's God. It's God. God means so much to me at this age. It just seems like it keeps on and on and on. I depend upon God for everything. I really do. God has given me this body, and all systems are still go. No kidding. I'm driving and I'm talking to you. I could still add 2 and 2 to make 4. So I'm blessed, thoroughly blessed, and by all the wonderful people wonderful people. I love people. I love them. And I love this person here, over here, too. Thank you so much. Thank you, John.
So I think it's time to sing a hearty happy birthday.
Happy birthday to
And happy birthday to all of you celebrating a birthday during the month of November. You can keep standing because we are about to transition into our final song, the Song of Peace. Please join us.
Thank you all for being here today. It's so wonderful to see all your faces and so wonderful to have you with us online. And now our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Love and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Namaste.